Hi guys, welcome back. I hope that you're all doing amazingly well today. In today's video, I am going to be doing a quick tutorial. I'm going to show you how I got this eyeshadow look that I'm wearing. I am also going to do a quick review. I will be swatching the new Morphe 35V palette that was just released today. And yeah, without further ado, let's get this video started. Alright guys, so I'm going to go ahead and get started on this eyeshadow look. I did try to create this look this morning at like 4 o'clock in the morning, and the eyeshadows were not performing the way that they were meant to perform. I had a really hard time. They felt very chalky and I just don't know what happened. I did use the Smashbox lid primer in white, which I have used many times before without any issues. It's actually one of my favorite lid primers, so I'm really not sure what happened, and I decided to come home, take the makeup off, and try to do it again. I was going to use different colors, but I'm going to stick with all of the blue shades and try to make the same eyeshadow look work for me again, only because I feel like the blues in that palette are really the focus point of the palette, and I feel like that's what we would be buying this palette for. So I'm just gonna go ahead and use a different eyeshadow base and try to recreate the same look that I did this morning. I'm gonna make a little bit of tweaks here and there, but for the most part it's gonna be the same thing. I'm gonna kind of do like a half cut crease. I did want to do another halo eyeshadow look, and I do feel like with these blues a halo eyeshadow look would look the best. I'm sure you guys are tired of me doing the halo eyeshadow look every single time, so I'm going to try to do a half cut crease. Anyway, with all of that being said, wish me a lot of luck and let's get this look started. So for the eyeshadow base, I'm going to be using this NARS concealer. This is the matte concealer in the shade Chantilly. I hope I'm saying that right, but yeah, this is what we're going to be using. So I'm just taking the concealer and I'm just going to apply it all over the lid. And I'm also running the concealer on the lower lash line. As soon as you put down the concealer, we want to go ahead and set it with a translucent powder. And I did not set the primer this morning at all. Usually with a Smashbox primer, I don't set it, and that gives me a lot more pigmentation, which is why I didn't set it. But I'm going to do a different technique this time and see if I can make the shadows work a little bit better with a different technique. So we'll see what happens. So the first color that I'm going to come in with is going to be this one right here. So I'm going to go ahead and take that blue on my JH30, and I'm just going to use that as a transition color. So it looks like they're performing a little bit better, but they're not as pigmented as I would like them to be, and they're still looking a little bit patchy. I don't know if you guys can see that, but that's basically the same issue that I was having this morning. So I'm starting to regret that I did this again. The next shade that I'm going to come in with is going to be this one right here, and I'm just going to start at the outer corner. And again, I'm not getting any pigment. Do you guys see this getting darker? Because I am not seeing anything at all. Okay, let me switch brushes. Let's try a MAC 217. Same color, different brush. Okay, so I think that I can see it getting a little bit darker, so that's good. There we go. So I'm just putting this color to the outer corner, and I'm also going to bring it into the crease lightly. I basically want to darken everything that we did a little bit with this crease color and the outer corner. And I am doing like packing motions because I feel like that's what's giving me the most pigment with these palettes. So I'm just gonna kind of like pack and then swipe up lightly to blend. And I apologize, you guys, my eyes are so tiny. I am so tired. I am on 2 hours of sleep and I am just exhausted, so I am really sorry. Okay, once we have that color down, I'm gonna go back to the big fluffy brush and we're just gonna blend the edges lightly. I'm gonna come in with the black color right here. And I'm just using the JH40, which is just a smaller blending brush. It's kind of like a pointed pencil brush. And I'm just going to apply it right at the very corner. And I'm doing this because I want to get more definition, because it just looks like both of the blues just kind of blended together for some reason. And I'm just grabbing my MAC 217 to try to blend out the edges. I'm just going to bring the black in as well at this point. I'm going to take a little paper towel and some makeup remover, and I'm going to try to clean the edges and see how it looks. And I just want to see if it's worth saving, if I should keep going, or if I should just stop and call it a day. So I'm just going to clean the edges and let's see what happens. Alright, so I cleaned the edges off and I feel like it does look a little bit better, so I'm just going to keep going to try to save this look. So I'm going to go ahead and come in with the same concealer and I'm going to start cutting out the half cut crease. So what I'm going to do now is take a little Q-tip and I'm just going to clean off everything that is inside the half cut crease so that we have a clean base when we come in with the lid colors. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and take the concealer and I'm just using a flat concealer brush. Any concealer brush will do. As soon as you have that down, we're going to go ahead and set that with a translucent powder. Okay, so now that we have the crease, I am going to go ahead and come in with the colors that we want for the lid. I am going to go ahead and apply this one first. I'm going to grab this shimmer right here and I'm just going to put it right over top of this color. Alright, so now I'm going to go ahead and come in with this color right here. And I'm just placing that right on what we have left. And I'm going to blend it into the blue just so that it looks more like a gradient. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is go back with the black and I'm grabbing a little tiny flat brush like this one and I'm just going to define the half cut crease. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to come in with the Too Faced Glitter Pop. And I'm going to take this glitter from Too Faced and I'm just going to apply it right where the crease is. I'm going to be using the same lashes that I've been using the past 3 times, only because it's late, I'm tired, and I don't feel like getting new ones to cut. These already have glitter on them from this morning, so we're just going to use these. And these are from Tati Lashes in the style TL6. So while I wait for the lashes to dry, I'm just going to apply a little bit of mascara. For the lower lash line, I'm going to come in with the black, and I'm just going to stamp this color right along the lash line first. And I am going to line my waterline with the black pencil from Urban Decay as well. Now I'm going to grab this sparkle shade right here, and I'm going to be using the same brush, and I'm just going to go over the black. And then using the pencil brush, we're basically going to smoke out the lower lash line. Next, we're going to grab the same shade that we used for the inner corner. Okay, now I'm going to grab mascara, and I'm just going to apply that to the lower lashes. Alright, you guys, so this is the finished eyeshadow look. I am gonna go and do the rest of my makeup off camera. If the video doesn't end up being too long, I will go ahead and include it in the video, just like a quick run through of the rest of my makeup. Otherwise, I'm gonna go ahead and leave you with the swatches, and after the swatches I will be right back to talk about the palette. Alright, you guys, so I am back. This is the finished look with our base and everything put together. It doesn't look horrible. Eyeshadow always looks a little bit weird when you don't have the rest of your makeup done, so I think it looks really pretty. I'm not mad at it. I'm gonna go ahead and show you the swatches, and then I will be right back to talk about the palette. Alright, so you guys just saw the swatches. I'm going to zoom you out really quickly so we can chat a little bit about the palette, and I can give you my thoughts and a little bit of a review on the palette. Alright, so I just zoomed you guys out, and we're going to be talking about the palette, my struggles with the palette, and I will give you some quick facts about this Morphe 35V palette. So this is what the palette looks like. Again, it looks like the other Morphe palettes. It's pretty much structured the same way, and it retails for $24, and as of right now it's actually only available on Ulta Beauty in stores and online. And I had I have not seen it on the Morphe website at all, so I don't think they're going to sell it on Morphe.com. I think it's going to be an exclusive to Ulta only. But yeah, so it's $24, and these are the colors that are in here. We have a whole bunch of matte colors, some shimmers, and this one right here, and this one are a little bit more of like glitter. They are shimmery, but they're more chunky. But yeah, that's basically what it looks like. It again doesn't have the names of the shadows on the palette. It does come with the insert. I dropped it already. Like I mentioned in my last video, I never keep the inserts. They either fall, I get annoyed, and then I just end up throwing them away because they're just too frustrating. But it does come with an insert with all of the shadow names. If you guys are interested in keeping that, it will have it if you do purchase the palette. That's pretty much the little like background information on the palette. And now I will go ahead and give you my review and thoughts on the palette. So I did try to film this video this morning at 4 in the morning, and I had a horrible time with this palette. I will show you some clips right here. And as you guys can see, I was really struggling with this palette. I used the Smashbox eyeshadow primer in white, which I use all of the time, and it's never given me an issue with any eyeshadow palette. So I was really shocked to see that these shadows were not performing with that primer. With that being said, I still kept going. I still tried to get a look, but the shadows felt very chalky, and I just was not happy with the way that it was turning out. And basically, I came home, I took my makeup completely off, and I decided to try again. And this time I used a different concealer, as you guys saw, and I still had the same issue. So using the concealer, I had to set it with a setting powder. When you set a eyeshadow with a setting powder, it normally helps your eyeshadow to blend out a lot easier. I always recommend setting your base, especially if you're beginning at makeup. It really does help to have a nice blend and to achieve a nice blend without putting in too much effort. So I was really shocked to see that the eyeshadows were still giving me a hard time even though I had set them with a setting powder. So with all of that being said, as you guys can see, I feel, I don't know what you guys think, but I do feel that the end result does look nice now that the makeup has settled, the eyeshadows have settled. It does look nice. So we did get a great end result, but I feel like it shouldn't have taken so much effort to get a great result. It took me about an hour and 15 minutes just to do my eyeshadow today, well tonight I should say, because I had to keep switching brushes, blending, packing, swiping, blending again, and then it would get patchy, so then I would have to grab a different brush, pack on the color to try to cover up the patchiness, and then basically that was how both eyes went. And that's how it went this morning as well. So with the last review that I did of the 35M palette, the only issue that I had with that palette was at the very beginning, the pigmentation was not super strong, but that palette, it was buildable. I was able to build up the color with no problem, and it was not patchy, and the shadows were very buttery, and everything was okay. When I did my second eye, as you guys saw, it turned out great, and I didn't have the issues that I had when doing my first eye. This palette feels different, and it even swatched different. I don't know if you guys noticed from these swatches, a lot of them look just very chalky. So I don't know exactly what happened with this guy. I don't know if it's just the blue shades, because I haven't tried any of the reds or the oranges from the palette just yet. I will say that the shimmers are beautiful, and as you guys can see, the color payoff on the shimmers are amazing. I was able to eventually build up the mattes, but again, it took a lot of effort because it was really, really patchy. I don't mind having a palette that I have to build up the color. That's okay. Like, I don't mind doing that, but I don't like patchiness. That is what I have a problem with. So that's the only thing that I was really frustrated with. I would still like to try the other colors and see how it goes, but the blues definitely gave me a hard time. I stuck with the blues this second time around because I really, really, really wanted to do a blue eyeshadow look for the longest time. And I got this bodysuit from Forever 21 just so that I could do a blue eyeshadow look. And honestly, when I first saw this palette, the first thing that I said was, those blues look beautiful. I want that palette. So yeah, I wanted to stick with the blues. So that's why when I went back the second time to attempt another try at the palette, that is why I stuck with the blue eyeshadow. So with all of that being said, I think it's okay if you guys want to purchase it, and if you want to try it out for yourselves, that's okay. I'm not gonna say that I don't recommend it, because the end result did turn out okay, but I think that if you are gonna buy it, well, sorry, I can't talk. I'm so tired. I'm on 2 hours of sleep. But yeah, I think if you guys are going to get it and you still want it because you love the colors in the palette, then that's okay, as long as you know that you may or may not have a little bit of a hard time getting to your end result. So that's all that I'm gonna say. Overall, again, I am happy because I was able to get a great result, but I'm just not happy that it took me so much work to get there. But I am going to try the other shades, and hopefully those will be better. From what I hear, blues and greens and things like that are a little bit hard to get in like the makeup world, like when they mix them in the lab. So I don't really know. Again, I'm not happy with the patchiness. I am happy with the shimmers. The shimmers are all beautiful, and though the shimmers definitely feel buttery and soft, and they're very pigmented, but the mattes I'm not too sure about. But yeah, I mean, if you guys want to get it, I think that's okay. I think just be prepared to maybe put in a little bit of extra work, you know, to get to your end result. Another thing that I will kind of say quickly is, this is what the palette looks like after I am done using it. And as you guys can see, there's no kickback whatsoever. This white spot here is just setting powder, but yeah, there was no kickback, and there was really not much fallout. I did have a little bit of fallout, like right here when I was doing my lower lash line, but it wasn't anything crazy. The color is buildable, but again, what the shades that I used today were a bit patchy. So anyway, with all of that being said, you guys make your own choices, your own judgments. It's just makeup at the end of the day. So this is just my personal opinion and my personal experience with this particular palette. And I just want to bring, you know, my experience to you guys to hopefully help you in your decisions with buying with buying makeup or not buying makeup, if that makes any sense. Anyway, I'm very tired. I'm not even making any sense, so I'm gonna go to bed. And yeah, I hope to see you guys on our socials. You can follow us at GlitterBeauties, pretty much spelled the same way that it's spelled here. On Instagram, you guys will get to see things that you don't get to see here: tutorials, pictures, beauty products, and swatches. So you can go ahead and head over to Instagram if you want more content that you won't get to see here on YouTube. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up or a thumbs down. It really does help us out a ton, and we really, really appreciate it. Don't forget to subscribe if you're not subscribed already, and I hope to see you guys on the next one. Bye.